Before we start exploring the city, we decided to test something a lot of travelers talk about, the Osaka Amazing Pass from the Klook app. This pass gives you unlimited rides on so many of Osaka's trains and subways, and it also includes free entry to a bunch of the city's top attractions. So the plan for today was simple: go to the Klook app, purchase the pass, and explore as much as possible and see if it's actually worth it. First stop, the Umeda Sky Building. We started the morning walking through the Umeda district, heading toward the Umeda Sky Building. And from far away, you can already tell this building is different. Two massive towers connected at the top by a floating observation deck. The walk there ended up being longer than we expected, but honestly, it was a nice way to start the morning with a cup of coffee. Quiet streets, cool air, and the skyline slowly opening up as we got closer. But when we finally made it there, we realized something. It was closed. After walking all the way there, the observation deck wasn't open for the day. So quick travel tip, always double check the attraction hours before heading out. Luckily, in Osaka, there's always something amazing nearby. So we hopped on the train and headed to the next spot, Osaka Castle. And the first thing you notice when you arrive is just how massive the grounds are. Huge stone walls, giant moats, and wide open parks surrounding the castle. It feels less like visiting a building and more like entering an entire historical district. The castle was originally built in the late 1500s by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a powerful samurai leader who helped unify Japan. But honestly, even if you don't know the history, the place is still incredible just to walk around. Every angle of the castle looks like it belongs on a postcard. The bright white walls, green rooftops, and gold details make it one of the most photogenic places in Osaka. When you reach the top levels, you get a full view of the city stretching in every direction. And that contrast is what makes it so cool. You're standing on a fortress that's hundreds of years old, looking out at a skyline full of modern skyscrapers. It's one of those moments that really reminds you of how much history exists in Japan. After the castle, we headed to a place that's even older. Shitenno-ji Temple. The temple dates all the way back to the year 593. Making it one of the oldest Buddhist temples in Japan. But the moment you walk through the gates, you notice something immediately. Everything slows down. The busy city sounds disappear. And suddenly, the atmosphere becomes really peaceful. The temple grounds are bigger than they first look. There are multiple buildings, courtyards, and walkways that lead you through the complex. One of the most striking things here is the 5-story pagoda rising above the temple grounds. Even though the buildings have been rebuilt over the centuries due to fires and natural disasters, they've always been reconstructed using the original designs. So walking through here still feels like stepping into another era. One thing that really stood out was the cemetery area nearby. Thousands of stone markers stacked together with the modern Osaka skyline in the background. It's a powerful contrast, ancient traditions surrounded by a modern city. Places like this gives you a completely different perspective on Osaka. It's not just neon lights and skyscrapers. There's centuries of culture woven into the city. Once we were done walking through the courtyard, we made our way to the 5-story pagoda. And luckily, with the Amazing Pass, we were able to enter for free. We also made purchases for extra candle and incense, which you could light. The candles are specifically used to honor, remember, and pray for deceased ancestors. As for the incense, it's to purify oneself, make offerings to Buddhas, and to invoke healing. Tsutenkaku Tower. Rising above the buildings, this tower has been one of Osaka's most recognizable landmarks for over a century, and it sits right in the center of the Shinsekai district. From almost every street in the area, you can catch a glimpse of it towering above the neighborhood. Standing underneath it, you really get a sense of how tall it is compared to the surrounding streets. And since we were using the Osaka Amazing Pass, entry to the observation deck was included. From the top, you get a completely different view of Osaka. Looking out across the city, you can see just how massive it really is. Neighborhoods stretching in every direction. After taking in the view from above, we headed back down to explore the streets around the tower. Because honestly, the real experience here isn't just the tower itself, it's everything happening around it. The Shinsekai neighborhood has a completely different vibe from the rest of the city. bright signs hanging from the buildings, lanterns lighting up the sidewalks, and restaurants packed closely together on every corner. It's lively, colorful, and full of personality. Shinsekai has this retro atmosphere to it, almost like stepping into a different era of Osaka. Every street feels busy and energetic, with people exploring, eating, and taking in the sights. This area is especially known for the local street food, and you'll see the restaurants everywhere serving Osaka's favorite like ushikatsu. Walking through Shinsekai at night really shows the personality of the neighborhood. Neon lights, music from restaurants, and the buzz of people enjoying the area create an atmosphere that feels completely different from the quiet temples and historic sites earlier in the day. And after a full day exploring Osaka, this felt like the perfect place to end the adventure. By the end of the day, we had explored castles, temples, and some of Osaka's most vibrant neighborhoods. Even though the day didn't start exactly how we planned, it ended up turning into an incredible adventure. And honestly, using the Osaka Amazing Pass made exploring the city really convenient. Between the subway rides and the included attractions, it made getting around Osaka simple. But this was only the beginning of our time in Japan. There's still so much more to explore, so follow along for the adventure.